Hi everybody, I'm Amy and I've been a house sitter on Trusted House Sitters for a little over a year and a half and have house sat in London, Dublin, LA, and a few other places local to Florida. And if you're somebody looking to land your first sit or just need help landing more sits that you want, then you, my friend, are in the right place. I am sharing what took me months to figure out through Reddit threads, online research, reviews, and giving you my top 5 tips to help you land your first sit. Without further ado, let's get into tip 1. The first tip, and possibly the most important, is craft a profile that is catered towards the sits that you want. So for example, I crafted my profile mainly around cats because those are the main sits that I wanted. If you look through my profile, you're going to find predominantly cat pictures. Also, you are going to see that I can administer medicine and that I've been a cat foster for a local nonprofit. When starting off, you may not have a lot to work with when it comes to your profile, so use what you have. If you have a picture of your old dog or cat, put that in there. If you have a picture of a neighbor's, put that in there. People don't know whose animals these are, just put them in there. If you're a person who has already had a few sits, make sure that you post pictures of those pets from your prior sits on your profile. The more pictures you have, the better. Getting into tip number 2, this is specifically catered towards those who don't have any sitting experience and have absolutely no reviews on your profile. My recommendation, especially if you want to have international sits or sits that are out of state, far from your area, complete a local sit first. I understand for a lot of people you don't want to hear that, but the reality is from the websites that I read on how to get your first sit, this was a common recommendation, and once I did mine, I ended up getting accepted and even invited to sits shortly after.
Tip number 3, be the best sitter.
For example, my first international sit when I was in Dublin, I went during a heat wave in Dublin where essentially it was the hottest it's ever been in the history of Dublin, which meant that the plants that I was taking care of, guys, half of them were dead when I showed up. Obviously, I communicated that to the hosts, but in addition to that, I looked up this type of plant that you have. It looks like it could benefit from this type of watering, and I went out of my way to try and revive the plants that were left. It is a very minimal thing that you have to do when you're there, but it does mean a lot to somebody who's not there. Also, before I left, I made sure I got them a little gift card, which was to a plant store.
A gift card because
For some of you, you may not think this is needed. I'm just saying for a 5-star review, if you go above and beyond, you are going to get more sits because people are gonna look at that and go, hey, I want that. And also while you're there being the best sitter possible, make sure that you get some pictures with the pets. Make sure that you send those with the check-ins because again, you're gonna add that back to your profile, which is also going to increase the credibility of your profile. Trust me, if you are the best sitter that you can be, you will get 5-star reviews and it will then be easier to get the sits that you want. Getting on to our next tip, cast a wide net when you're applying to sits. I just wanted to go international and I specifically did want to go to Ireland and London, except the thing is I applied to 30 places and just got rejected from almost all of them until I got a lovely response back from the Dublin couple that I stayed with and we FaceTimed, it ended up working out. But none of that would have happened if I wouldn't have casted a large net because on the platform I use Trusted House Sitters, there's a maximum of 5 applications per sit. And let me tell you people, not everybody is prompt in getting back to you. I applied to 20 to 30 sits, 40% of them never replied. And if they did reply, a portion of them didn't reply for over 2 weeks. So just make sure that you're casting a very wide net and try to be as flexible as possible. If you have a chance to be flexible in dates, as well as maybe the duration, then you are going to be a lot easier to work with than a lot of other people who are sitters.
Animal lovers and no, I think it's so great. It gives people a chance to really travel, see the world very economically. And other questions, or if you need more pictures, or
Oh no, I'm good. This is already more information than I've gotten from other sits in the past.
Do not just apply to something blankly because the pictures look good and it has the requirements that you have. Look at the responsibilities. There are gonna be some sits that may look good on paper, but let me just say, if they have been around for a while, there's probably a reason why somebody else did not apply. Also, when you get on the phone with people, that is typically the second step after you apply. They're gonna invite you for a FaceTime. Make sure that you are doing a thorough vibe check. I recommend, hey, can you show me what it looks like? Can you show me the animals? Because you wanna make sure that that adds up to what the sit is showing as. Ask some questions about what's around in terms of, is this a safe area? In terms of public transportation. Doing a vibe check is a must. If you apply to a sit and you do not do any FaceTime and they just agree to you. I get that some people are busy, but that to me is a bit of a red flag. The other thing to look at is at the host profile. If you have any more questions on house sitting, let me know in the comments below. If you're the kind of person who loves a good rabbit hole, a little life hack, lifestyle experiment, please follow along, subscribe, and if you found value in this video, hit that like button. I wish you luck on your house sitting journey.